Okay, so there's a video, this video that you see on the screen right now, um, from one of my favorite rappers I've been following for a long time, named Thizzle. He's a Christian rap artist who has been very, very relevant for a long, 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 long time. Um, he is a motivational speaker, an activist. I already told you he's a rapper, and just all around solid, real nigga. Um, and he made a video that I'm about to share with you, and I'm going to give my commentary once it's over with. So let's get into the video.
One of the biggest problems we have with culture right now is people want to have something wrong with everything. The new Marvel movie come out. Oh, that ain't right. Oh, I don't like the way it was this.
Now, I said I wasn't gonna stop it, but he is very, 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 very correct on the statement of it being like a culture where it's easier to critique and it's easier to just hate on something than to say, hey, that's a good movie. That was a good effort. People are usually, and I feel like I feel like it's a lot of reasons why people hate on everything a lot. But I'm one of the at the top of the list is probably Twitter. Twitter is probably the reason why people think it's cool to hate on stuff and hate on music projects and critique and think that they, you know what I'm saying? Like I critique, but I never do a thing where I'm like, oh, this is trash or that's trash. If it's not a solid effort, if it's not a solid effort, that's not for me to decide, because it's up to another musician to say, hey, that wasn't a solid effort. But for us as consumers and us as fans, we always are seeking for the best from everybody that we love as creators, from rappers to singers to actors to movie directors. We always want the best out of everything, from what we watch to what we read to what we listen to. And it's not always going to be that case. And like I said, I feel like Twitter is to blame for this. I feel like the surplus of uh, bloggers is to blame for this as well. A bunch of people who have never been in the profession of rap have this opinion. I mean, I can understand if you're a failed rapper or a failed producer or something like that, then I can give that a pass. But if you've never been in music, or you're just somebody who's a casual listener of music, and whatever is hot is what you're gonna put on the pedestals of a mountain, then you shouldn't have an opinion. Like some of these bloggers are just people who copy other people's styles and think that they're doing some type of work. Like, bro, you know what I'm saying? That's not valid. But let me continue with the video.
The new Space Jam. Oh man, that was the artist. Kids telling artists, "Oh, you need to come harder. You just gotta find something to critique." Like it's a. We talking about cancel culture. It's critique culture. You gotta accept the fact some people do something better than you do, and they gonna be on. And when they hit and they on, let them be on. You don't gotta come in their space and say you ain't on. That man nailed it the first time. I ain't looking for nothing wrong. Let's go. You ain't got don't nothing take forever. Some stuff take time, but don't nothing take forever. Guess what? That give me more room to do. Go do something else. Put yourself around people that are great at what they're doing.
Okay, so as I was saying about the surplus of bloggers and people, and he just to go back to what he said something about it shouldn't be it shouldn't be young kids critiquing their favorite artists and telling them that they should they should come harder, or your last album sucked or whatever. It's just like the critique culture is a thing. critique culture is a thing and nobody calls it out. He's the first person out of a few amount of people that have called out critique culture. Forget about cancel culture. There hasn't been too many people calling out critique culture because, like, I don't know, maybe these entertainers don't want to look lame to their fans because some of these artists fans are those people critiquing them. You know what I'm saying? Like, but but like I said in the beginning, it's like if you've been in music, if you're a failed rapper, if you're a failed producer, or you are a rapper, or you are a producer, then I feel like your opinion is a little bit more valid than somebody who's just a casual listener or somebody who's been listening to a certain artist for a long ass time. You know, that's not to say that the consumer's opinion doesn't matter. It's just like it's not as important. I mean, I understand. You wait a long time. You're waiting a long time for another Kendrick album, but that's probably why Kendrick ain't dropping. Kendrick ain't dropping the album because he knows what type of world we live in, and how fast people are going to say, oh, this sucks, or oh, this is bad, this is not something, you know what I'm saying, and you're forming an opinion on an album after two listens. Like, let's take for instance J. Cole's album, right? People formed an opinion on an album that took him like 2 years to do in about a day, like in about 5 hours. Like, how do you somehow get critique an opinion out after listening to an album for like maybe 4 hours, 2 hours a day? Like, come on, man, you gotta like, this generation doesn't listen to music how we used to listen to music. My generation like listened to music back in the day. We would, if like when Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly came out, I listened to that album like for a year before I, figured out like, hey, this is definitely something I feel like is classic. Same thing with 2014 Forest Hills Drive. I listened to that album constantly. Like, there are moments in my life that I can remember from just listening to that album. Same thing with Drake's Take Care. There's a moment in time that I can return back to from listening to that album over and over and over and over. People shouldn't be having an opinion on a movie or a television show or an album, a musical album, after maybe seeing some, like for a movie, for existence. Somebody probably has said that, oh, Infinity War is trash after seeing it only one time and never going back and watching it again. Bro, I've seen that movie probably more than 10 times, and I know that it's a classic. It's a classic. You cannot tell me that that movie is trash just because you watched it one time. We're impatient and our attention spans suck. I think that's another thing that you have to factor in when we're talking about critique culture. People's attention spans are not there. Like, a person would rather go listen to a rapper who is consistently putting out records and not the rapper who is taking his time with an album and not just dropping music every other week. You get what I'm saying? That's the same thing with the actor, with your favorite actor. I would rather go and watch a movie from somebody, from one of my favorite actors who takes who only considers to take the best movie roles they can because they don't want to get that they don't want to get a bad critique, versus an actor who is taking all movie roles and doing every movie, and you see him in every movie and he's only taking it because of the money. You dig what I'm saying? Like, critique culture is so terrible. And like I said, he's the first one that I've ever seen like really call it out like that. Everybody's always talking about cancel culture, and nobody talks about critique culture because they probably don't want to look a certain way to their consumers. So hey, I feel like it's at an all time high right now. You know, if you weren't one of the if you weren't one of those people critiquing like before it was cool, then I don't really think your opinion should be valid as well. That's another thing to me. Yeah. Hey man, that's the end of this blog. And what I would like y'all to do is like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm gonna be back with more videos. And remember, this is just my opinion. You don't have to agree. If you have a comment, tell me down in the comments. What do you think? And hey, love you. I'm out. Peace. Pay your bills. Pay your bills. And I'm gone.